Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Miel Hebraica, Hebrew Honey, and I'm going to start a series of videos on Megillat Shefer, a scroll. Now in Hebrew it's written out with two words, Megillat Shefer. Megillat is literally the scroll part, and it's again, a little example of one of those here. This is the kind of thing that they use for teaching Hebrew in the yeshivas and the schools. Long time ago, they would only sell it to the rabbis who were going to use it for teaching. Now they'll sell it to tourists, and so I have an early copy, which doesn't quite look as nice. This is my latest copy, which where they were happy enough to sell it to a tourist. So in Jerusalem, I don't know if they're probably available online. Anyway, it's called a Megillat Shefer. This one is not legal for reading in synagogues. It's printed. It's a very small letter. It's just simply used for teaching or for tourists to have fun looking at what the letters look like. It is a photocopy of a handwritten scroll. In other words, the letters do look handwritten, although it is printed. So, Megillat Shefer. Oh, here it is, the scroll. And this particular scroll is the most important, or the whole story centers on. I'm looking in Jeremiah 36, the chapter, the entire chapter. I'm going to do it in sections so it doesn't become too long. So, and we're going to have some fun reading this. So just follow along, and we're going to have some fun doing Megillat Sefer. In the 4th year of Jehoyaquim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, this word came to Jeremiah from Jehovah, saying. Okay, I'm going to read it right through, and then we'll take a look at a few of the details in the Hebrew. Vayhi b'shana ha'revi'it leYehoyaquim ben Yoshiyahu melech Yehuda haya hadavar hazeh el Yirmiyahu me'et Yahweh lemor, saying. So, and it happened. It came to pass. It happened in the Beshanat, in the year. This is the year Revi. That's the 4th year of Jehoyaquim. Okay, the Lord lifts up. This, unfortunately, was one of the bad individuals in the crowd towards the end of the lineage of the dynasty of the Judean kings. He had a whole bunch of them that weren't so good, and this was one of the bad ones. And we'll find out soon enough what made him bad too when we get to what happened to the scroll. Jehoyaquim ben Yoshiyahu. Josiah was one of the reformed kings, and he came into the kingdom early and found a scroll in the temple, and then it led him to really putting a lot of reforms into the country at that point in time. Unfortunately, he was a little impetuous, went up to fight Pharaoh Necho near Megiddo and lost his life in that particular battle. And then after that, his son really didn't carry on with the reforms. In fact, everything went backwards into idolatry. So, Jehoiakim is not a person that serves as a good example to us. Okay, he did evil in the sight of the Lord. But Yoshiyahu, Melech Yehuda, king of Judah, Haya, it was, and there was, Hadavar. Okay, the word here came, but there was the word. Hazeh, this word, demonstrative pronoun here. El Yirmiyahu. This is Ram, is to be exalted, to be lifted up, to be praised highly. Ram Yirmiyahu. So Yahu is exalted. It's same root as Avram, okay, the father that's exalted, Abraham, and Abraham. And so here we have that same root in this particular construction of a name here, Yirmiyahu. Me'et, from Yahweh, Jehovah, the Lord, lemor, saying. Okay, so what follows in this particular passage is something that's going to be quoted. And Jeremiah 36:2, take a scroll, write on it on all the words I've spoken to you concerning Israel, Judah, and all the nations from the time I first spoke to you during Josiah's reign until today. In other words, this is everything, put it all in one package. We want the king to hear everything. Okay, put it all together, and we'll put it all in one scroll. I'd say this was quite a project. I mean, this is probably, I don't know, a couple, 2-3 weeks or a month or two of work to do all of this kind of writing. It was probably quite a large project. Not sure just how long, but it apparently was quite a bit of work for Jeremiah and for Baruk, who actually did the writing. So, Kach lecha Megilat Sefer וכתבת אליך את כל הדברים אשר דיברתי אליך על ישראל ועל יהודה ועל כל הגויים מיום דיברתי אליך מימי יאשיהו ועד היום הזה. Okay, take to you, this particular word, its root is lamed kof chet. The lamed have been assimilated, but you have kof chet still there. And this is a imperative, okay? Do it, take it. Take to you, for you, Megilat Sefer. Now, the reason the Megillat is called a Megillat is that the root word right in here is the Gimel Lamed, okay? The Gimel Lamed, that's something that is round. Gilgal is a round camp, Galilee is a round lake, Golgotha is a round skull, and so we're catching on that Gimel Lamed is Gimel Lamed is something that's round, or something that's rolling, or if it's a verb, it's something that's twisting on itself, so or spinning. So here it is, Megillat, and that's the reason is because the end of the roll is round. It's in a spiral. Okay, so that's a Megillat. Sefer literally is a book, and that's something that is a place where you would keep a ledger, you would keep a track of things. So Sefer is something that's written down. Okay, something that's written down for whatever reasons you would want to write some data down for, be it list of people, be it events, be it whatever. Here it is, all of the events that Jeremiah wants to tell the king. It's going to go into this book here, Megillat Sefer. Some translations will go the scroll for a book. Okay, Katav ta, and write Elah, on it, on her. It's a feminine. Apparently, Megillat is a feminine noun, so the pronoun right here is feminine. And write on her, on it. It, this is a direct object marker. Kol hadevarim, all of the words. Asher, which, debarti, which I say to you. Elecha, I say to you. Okay, so the Lord is speaking to Jeremiah. You have to write everything down that I'm telling you. Okay, so Jeremiah somehow is hearing the Lord speaking to him in his heart, and could be directly in his ears, but what I'm speaking to you. Al Yisrael. Now you have here concerning or against or on top of. Al, literally it's on top of, but it could also be against, and the translation here concerning covers it. About or against Israel, ve'al Yehudan, against Judah, ve'al kol hagoyim, and against all of the nations, all of the other nations. This is everybody else, okay? Hagoyim. Mi yom, since the day, debarti, that I spoke elecha, I spoke to you. Okay, and this is same thing here. Debarti elecha, since I spoke to you. Mi me, in the days of Yoshiyahu, the days of Josiah. Okay, in the days of Josiah, the Lord began speaking to Jeremiah in the days of Josiah, the previous king, and so now it's a recapitulation of all the things that have come since that king to this king. So it's quite a list of events that took place in between there. Yoshiyahu, ve'ad hayom hazeh, and until this day, until today, okay, until Yom Hazeh, this day, this is the day, this day. Incidentally, yeah, there's an article in front of both. Here's an article in front of the noun they. Here's an article in front of the demonstrative pronoun ze. Perhaps when the house of Judah hears about all the disasters that I am planning to bring on them, each of them will turn from his evil way, and then I will forgive their wrongdoings and their sins. So, ulai, that is perhaps. Okay, I'll be reading it in Hebrew here. Ulai yishmeu beit Yehuda et kol ha'ra asher anochi hoshev le'asot lachem lama'an yashuvu ish me'devar dercho ha'ra ve'shel lachti le'aona u'le'hatatam. Okay. Ulai is perhaps, could happen. Ulai, should it happen? Ulai Shemu, and that they would hear. Beit Yehuda. This is a plural, but of course, whoever composes the Beit Yehuda is going to be a group of people. So even though this is singular, Beit Yehuda, house of Judah, the verb that's attached, or the verb that functions with this particular subject, is put in the plural. They will hear et, and this is a direct object marker. What is it that they will hear? Kol hara, all of the evil. This is a kames hatuv because the syllable is not accented, so all the evil. Kol hara, which, okay. Now, it's interesting, the normal translation for ra is evil. Now, translators, of course, don't want to think of the Lord being evil, but so they'll put it in here, disaster. Okay, that's a good translation for it. It's a good way to say it. I think better than trying to confuse people and say, oh, the Lord is a source of evil. No, the Lord can be a source of disaster. Okay, so that's just, it's better translate. The same thing. Kol hara, all of the disaster. Asher anochi, which I, this is the longer form of the first person pronoun, which I, anochi, short form of the ani, anochi, hoshev. Now, planning, yeah, that's a good word. Hoshev can be planning for good things, planning for evil. Interestingly, when Joseph was speaking to his brothers, he said, oh, you guys were planning for evil, but the Lord planned for good. And this just happens to be this verb right here, Hoshev. Okay? The way I remember it is there's a city in the Transjordan called Heshbon, the people who did all kinds of planning, evil planning. So Heshbon, this is Heshev, okay? Heshev, that which I am planning, participle, I'm planning that. Aleashot, in order to do. Anytime you see a preposition of purpose, a lamed like this, in front of a verb, asha, the verb, it's the root for this verb is ayin sin he. He has disappeared, but this ending on here makes this infinitive ending then. So leashot, in order to do, lahem, against them, leman, so that, yeah, leman, so that maybe, could be, okay, leman, yashuvu, that they would turn, that they would repent, okay? The same word works in both senses. Yashuvu, they would turn, they would repent. Each one, okay? So this is a singular noun here, but again, we saw that over here. Beit Shemu, here we find the same thing. Each one, they would turn. Dercho, from his way, from his road. A road or a way, yeah, evil way. A road is something that the things that you're carrying out in life, okay? And we find it in the book of Proverbs quite often that, hey, how are you going to learn the right way, okay? Wisdom, to bring us onto the right way. Dercho. That means your ethical and your moral decisions throughout life. So that's me dercho. Me darko. Hara, their evil way. Okay, here we have evil. See, you can see, look at here. Hara. Here the translator goes disaster. here the translator goes evil. So if you're talking about the Lord and it's hara, it's a disaster. You're talking about a person, human beings, and they're doing hara, it's evil. Okay, so it happens to be the same word. The context will change its meaning somewhat here. So hara, the disaster, ha, evil, the evil, hara, evil. Va shal heti, and I will send it away. I will forgive. Le aona. And this is as close as the Hebrew will get to what would be kind of a diphthong situation of ao le aona, in order to of their wrongdoings, their the bad stuff. Aona u le hatatam, and their sins. Okay, hatatam, their sins. Both of these are plural endings on these particular nouns here, to their evil ways and their sins. Jeremiah 36:4. So Jeremiah summoned Baruk, son of Neriah. Wow, this guy has to be patient. He went through a lot. You're kind of wondering, oh boy, only for the Lord I'm going to put myself through this kind of trouble. But anyway, you just have to admire Baruk for saying, yeah, he probably wasn't too excited about it, but okay, yeah, maybe we should do it. Okay, he seems to be one of those quiet people who, sitting down very patiently writing. A person who's a scribe is going to be somebody who's got a lot of patience, a lot of dedication to what they're doing. And so at Jeremiah's dictation, Baruch wrote on a scroll all the words the Lord had spoken to Jeremiah. So we have, here it is, Megilah Shefer. Anyway, Va Yikra, and he called, Yikra, he's called out, Yikra. Vayikra Yirmiyahu et Baruch ben Neriah vayikatov Baruch me pi Yirmiyahu et kol debre Yahweh asher deber elav al Megilah Sefer. Okay. And then Jeremiah called out to, or summoned, et Baruch. Baruch means blessed. You could receive blessing, also gives blessing. Baruch ben Neriah. Neriah is lamp, and Yah is Jehovah, short form of Jehovah here. Neriah, the lamp of Jehovah, the lamp of Yah. Neriah. Ketov, and he wrote. And here's the subject of this particular verb here. And Baruch Yekatav wrote. Mepi, this from the mouth of. Okay? Pi is mouth, from the mouth of. Here they took the word dictation, sounds a lot better, but from the mouth of Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah, Jehovah exalted. This is a direct object marker. What's coming is what's been produced here or done. Kol devarei, all of the words, Yahweh of Jehovah. Asher diber, that he spoke, elav, to him, al Megilah Sefer, concerning or about or on, on would work here, al Megilah Sefer, onto this scroll of the book. So they've shortened, translators just put it down in scroll. The scroll of the book is the longer form. Incidentally, it's only at the start of the story that we have the longer form. Later on, it's just going to be either Megilah or Sefer, one or the other. And it happens to be the same thing when they're speaking about it in that way. So, but here it is, Megilah Sefer. So, Jeremiah 36:4. And then Jeremiah commanded Baruch, I am stopped. I am prohibited. I am banned. I've had it. I can't do anything. And at this point, the guards have probably got orders from the chiefs. When you see Jeremiah, he's not going anywhere. He's not doing anything. He can't get into the temple. He's out of here. So Jeremiah already has a reputation when he's talking here to Baruch. And so this, incidentally, is kind of one way of, I want to get to the king. I will have to do it in some ways that are interesting. So, and it happens to be through this Megilah. So, Va Yet Sheva, and so he ordered, commanded, or Yirmiyahu ordered Yeshua, et Baruk, ordered to Baruk, Lemor, saying, Ani Atzur, Ani Atzur. This is a thing I got from Wikimedia, so it should be without issues of copyright. And it's a picture of a sign in Israel. To me, it doesn't seem very regulation. In fact, it really should have Arabic on here as well. In fact, it looks like a yield sign with a stop on it. Atzur, and so it just means stop in Hebrew. Okay, stop. I am stopped. That's why I did alter translation a little bit more to cover what this word atzur is. Okay, atzur. I am stopped. Atzur. Lo uchal. I can't. Levo. I can't go. Beit Yahweh. I can't go to the house of Jehovah. I can't get into that house. There has to be some other way. And so here we're going to produce this book and see where it goes. It's just something the Lord has told me to do, and let's go forward. And so I'll be continuing the story in a sequenced video. Look for scroll number 2. Okay, this is scroll number 1. Next one will be scroll number 2. So until next time.